Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Board of Selectmen meeting for Monday, May 16th, 2016. Please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. If we could have a moment of silence to reflect on our duties as servants of the town and to think about our new and exciting upcoming form of government and pray that everything works out fine in that department, and also for the safety of our soldiers both overseas and in the United States, and for their safe return. Thank you. In accordance with Mass General Law, I have to announce that this meeting is being recorded by the East Long Meadow Selectmen's Office and also by East Long Meadow Cable Access, and I have to ask if anyone else is recording the meeting. Seeing no one, we can proceed. Our first item of business, annual town meeting. Yes. I mean, I think we're all set. Did Lorraine talk to you about the assignments?
Yeah.
Okay. So we should be all set. Unfortunately, Selectman Gorman had a family emergency, a health issue with a member of his family, so he will not be here tonight. I believe they're at the hospital with the person who's undergoing treatment. So we wish him well. We wish everything works out okay for him and for his family. So we're all set with everything regarding the town meeting. We've got all our assignments, and should be interesting. So from there, the next item is under new business. We have a request from Mayberry Material Handling for monthly cruise nights on Wednesdays, May 18th, and then they do these for charity. So May 18th is for the Shriners Hospital, June 15th is for Valley Radio Reading Service, July 20th is for Autism Speaks, and August 17th is for Bay State Health Rays of Hope. They're from 4 p.m. to 8 p.m., and they're also looking for a temporary food service permit for the same dates and times at 90 Denslow Road. The food applications have been approved by Amy Petrosky, our health agent. I would like to propose a motion to approve the event and the temporary food service permits.
So moved.
I will second out of necessity. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. What I might do is, Selectman Manley's have you read the meetings invitations and reminders, even though we only have one item under Town Council.
Yep. You want me to do that now?
Sure.
Meetings, invitations, reminders. Local Emergency Planning Committee meeting will be held Wednesday, May 18th, 2016 at 7 p.m. at the Council on Aging, 328 North Main Street. Town offices are closed Monday, May 30th in observance of Memorial Day. The Board of Selectmen meeting Wednesday, May 25th, 2016 at 6 p.m. At the Council on Aging Meeting Room, 328 North Main Street. And the Board of Selectmen meeting Tuesday, June 7th, 2016 at 6 p.m. Council on Aging Meeting Room, 328 North Main Street.
And we will have to discuss that because that is Election Day.
Yes.
So we can't have a meeting that day. And for some reason, I don't know if I remember it because I can hardly figure out what I did this morning, but I think Selectman Gorman said something about June 5th not being good for him. Do you remember him saying that? No? What we'll probably have to do is, we have a meeting next week, so we can figure out what day that week, unless we want to tentatively make it the 5th, and if he can't make it, then we can always adjust it. So I'll propose a motion to move the meeting to Wednesday, June 8th.
Wednesday, June 8th.
Yes.
Okay. So moved.
I will second on necessity. All in favor?
Aye.
All right. Sir, I can't shake your hand because I'm not Inspector Gadget, so I can't make it all the way across.
The only item that's under my agenda is to discuss with the board. I believe you're aware of this from dealings with the town clerk. It deals with the charter and the election that's scheduled. By way of history, as everyone pretty much knows, the Charter Commission was elected, and then to assist them in drafting the charter, not the provisions as to how the government was going to be established, but the technical dates that needed to be complied with in the schedule of the election and whatnot. They hired a professional management company affiliated with UMass Boston to draft the document or to comply with those requirements. Apparently, in setting up the time schedule for the charter election, if it were to be approved, the company, Collins Company, did not check with the town clerk with respect to the dates or specifically the timing that would be required to hold the election scheduled for the town council in June. When he received the final charter that was approved by the voters, he looked at them, he looked at the dates, and he called me to indicate that he didn't believe that there was enough time under the state statute requirements for an election to hold the papers being submitted and the election to be held in June. So I suggested to him that he contact the Collins Company and see, since they deal with this, if there was some special legislation that might exist that would exempt the requirements under the state statute. Their response was no, there isn't. That forced us into speaking with the elections department of the Secretary of State's office, their counsel, Maureen Tassinari. We talked about a number of ways, hopefully, that we might be able to resolve this without needing to file special legislation, but as of this point, we've been unable to do that. So I have had, in an attempt to move this along, I've had discussions with the governor's office, his deputy general counsel, explaining our situation and asking whether, if the Board of Selectmen were to vote in favor of requesting it, the governor would consider submitting on behalf of the town corrective legislation to the state legislature to ratify and confirm the June 7th election. His deputy counsel has indicated that the governor would be willing to do that if he were to receive notification that the board was asking him to do that on behalf of the town. And if that, if you're so disposed to take a vote to request the governor or ask the governor to file such legislation, we would then notify him, notify the legislative representatives, the local senator and the reps, of the need to move this along as quickly as possible to see if it could be approved. So what I'm here and what this is on the agenda for, with that long-winded explanation, is to ask the board to consider voting tonight to request the governor to file legislation that would validate the June 7th election going forward, so that the candidates elected at that election will be duly elected and authorized representatives of the community until the next election under the charter.
So the motion would be to request the governor to approve June 7th as our election day.
No, it would be to
Okay.
request the governor to file on his town's behalf special legislation which would establish the result of the June 7th election as a valid and appropriate election held in the Commonwealth. Because the issue is that our timing is off with the requirement of the state statute, and this special act could correct that problem.
I'd like to propose that motion as worded by our town attorney.
So moved.
I'll second out of necessity. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Thank you very much.
Yep, thank you. Is that it? I would like to propose a motion to recess, to reconvene concurrently with the town meeting and to adjourn also concurrently with the adjournment of the town meeting with our minutes, the town meeting reflective of the minutes of the Board of Selectmen's meeting.
So moved.
I'll second out of necessity. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.